ESPN thought they struck gold when they got Shannon Sharpe to come over to their network and partner up with Stephen A. Smith on First Take. But of course, after months of headlines and bad PR and him taking a leave of absence following explosive allegations, a $50 million rape lawsuit, the day has finally come when ESPN said goodbye to Shannon Sharpe. You kind of felt like it was going to happen once we learned some details about the case itself, once he took his leave of absence completely and totally voluntarily from ESPN. Well, here we are, and Shannon Sharpe is gone, has been fired from ESPN. ESPN dumps Shannon Sharpe after $50 million rape lawsuit settlement. And it was a week or two ago that the news broke that this big case that had been filed from his on-again, off-again ex-girlfriend, who's an OnlyFans model, after she, again, we saw a lot of those text messages. We saw a lot of that stuff. Apparently, there were sex tapes involved, too. They settled the lawsuit. It got dismissed after a settlement. Who knows how much Shannon Sharpe paid this woman to go away? And this is all after him coming out and saying, this is just a shakedown for money. I'm not giving in. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to, all this stuff. And, of course, I felt like this is how it would end up. Like he would say all these things in public, but ultimately he would pay out a bunch of money. And think whatever you will about these types of lawsuits or whatever. The messages that did come out from this did not look good for Shannon Sharpe. But let's get into the story because he is out at ESPN. ESPN is finally cutting ties with commentator Shannon Sharpe weeks after he settled a $50 million lawsuit accusing him of rape. The 57-year-old NFL Hall of Famer was let go by the cable sports network on Wednesday, only 2 weeks after settling his lawsuit, according to The Athletic. Sharpe stepped away from ESPN in April as the lawsuit became major news. Stepped away meaning ESPN pulled him off the platform. Right? This whole thing was spun as if he voluntarily went away. Come on. Like, how stupid do you think we are? The Hall of Famer tried to settle the lawsuit with a $10 million offer in April, but when that settlement was rejected, he announced a hiatus from ESPN duties. That's the other thing. And this is why, look, you always question these lawsuits, these allegations, anything like that when it comes up. But to come out and act all holier than thou about, it's just a shakedown, they're just trying to get me for money, I'm not going to pay out, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to tell you the truth. And then it got exposed that he had actually offered $10 million before the news broke to try to keep it quiet. So you are okay with being shaken down. And we obviously see that that is the case. Who knows how much he paid out? Probably more than $10 million. And now he doesn't have that money from ESPN. Shannon Sharpe's going to be perfectly fine. Shannon Sharpe still got his podcast and his Club Shay Shay stuff, all that. He's going to be perfectly fine financially. But it will no longer be working at ESPN. Still, Sharpe called the lawsuit a shakedown and said, I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. It was also reported the accuser had a damning sex tape. She subsequently pledged not to release because it was key evidence in the lawsuit against Sharpe. Now, along with losing an untold amount of cash by settling the lawsuit, Sharpe is also losing his reported $6.5 million per year ESPN salary. And Shannon Sharpe has issued a statement. He's spoken out a little bit after this. This decision probably happened a while ago. The one thing that Shannon Sharpe asked for was for it to not be announced publicly until after the Hall of Fame ceremony, because his brother is finally getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he wanted it to be all about that, all about family, all about stuff like that, but it was not announced by ESPN. It did get leaked out somehow, and obviously that is going to be potentially a conversation now this weekend as well. The former First Take contributor revealed he knew about the decision days in advance, but had hoped to delay the announcement till after his brother's Hall of Fame induction. And here's the quote, "Everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found this information earlier in the week. The only thing I really asked for is if we can wait until Monday. My brother's going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted it to be about him. I wanted it to be about family." And obviously not the case. Now, it didn't get announced by ESPN. It did get leaked. I think The Athletic was the first one to break the story, but there you go. Shannon Sharpe may be, look, there's a lot of women that'll accuse you of a bunch of stuff. We know that. We've seen that. Maybe when you're 57 years old, you shouldn't be going after 21-year-old Instagram or OnlyFans whores. Maybe that is a life lesson that you can still learn even at the age of 57. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.